If you want to start the swing the right way, give Tommy Fleetwood's drill a try. It works for him. So what we've got here, and Tommy Fleetwood does this drill all the time, we've got an alignment rod set at the lie angle of the club we're using, and we've also set it a ball inside the ball to target line, which obviously runs from where we're stood here behind the ball all the way to the target. The idea really in this drill is if we stand to that, if I whip the club inside, I will hit this rod. So Tommy does it for two things: to get the takeaway working on the correct path and plane, but also the downswing. If he drops it underneath himself too much from the inside and gets too trapped, he'll also hit the rod. So for him, it's kind of a get the arms out in front, turn through the golf ball. And a fault that plagues a lot of good players is they get the club too much from the inside. Now, I know that's not a fault that plagues the masses, but it still does plague a lot of golfers out there in the world. But the takeaway element of this does plague the masses. What we see with a lot of golfers is they'll take the club and roll it inside, then from there pick the club up, reduce how much they rotate, and then start down over the top. So they would have no chance of hitting this on the way down. And even for those guys, it's not a bad feel for them to try and hit this on the way down, but obviously miss it on the way back. And even for the real slicers out there, they could go over this rod, under this rod in practice swings. That's a good look. For the better players out there, keeping this club out in front of that rod all the way through the golf swing is generally what they would like to feel more of. As I said, they tend to right bend too much, tend to early extend maybe a touch with the guys who do this to the excessive amount, and just kind of get the hands working to the right too much and get a little bit too handsy through the contact zone. So the guys out there, if that's you and it's me a little bit, I tend to start steeply down and then dump it a little bit more down here and get a bit handsy through the ball, which is not ideal. So for me, this is a nice drill for my takeaway and for my downswing. If I could shallow the club a little bit more here and then miss this, this would be kind of the perfect will for me. But this drill, obviously, this exercise is out there for all of you guys to work on your takeaway and keep the club in a nice passive state throughout the whole golf swing. And a really, really, really solid golf shot, that middle of the green. And it felt safe. Those are the words I would use. Whenever we get the club, let's call it the danger zone, too much in here, both in the takeaway or the downswing, that's going to give us contact issues. It's going to give us pattern issues, and it's going to start to affect my body. When I take the club in here, you see how my turn gets very flat. When the club goes up too much, in likelihood, I'm going to get more a steeper shoulder plane, which is better. So the more we can get the club online with a steeper shoulder plane is what we're looking for. In the takeaway, ideally, what I want to see is these wrist angles not change in terms of flexion and extension, only change in terms of radial, which is thumb up. And I want the right arm to fold and bend in to start getting that club and shaft going upwards. If the arm doesn't bend enough, we tend to get this look. If the wrists roll, we get that look. So very much trying to get the club set on the right direction and then maintain those positions and just tilt and turn to the top and then come down, a slight shallowing, but still feel that the club is never too far behind us. Big issue with a lot of players is this look on the way down, where the hips outrun and the elbows get trapped behind. So the more we can feel that kind of, let's call it synchronization, the better. So I'm just trying to feel elbow folds, wrist cock, turn to the top, in front, and hit. Getting another really solid golf shot. That one, pretty perfect if I was playing the hole, just left of the hole and just short of the hole. Nice little uphill putt left for me there. So practicing this way just kind of guarantees and calibrates, and this is what Tommy does it for as far as I'm aware, just calibrating and keeping him on that same path. Again, when you find something that works for you, it's almost like a vitamin tablet, something that makes you feel good, keep doing it. Have this as your daily, weekly, monthly routine that you might hit 20 balls doing to keep you on that track, keep you in that flow, keep you in that position, keep you on the straight and narrow to play great golf.